Hello everybody, happy Monday. We are back at it. We are getting a very late start because I overslept. Yes, that's right, I overslept. Which is something I never ever do because I have like 3 different alarms. Yeah, slept through all 3 of them. So, on the one hand, I must have needed the sleep, so it's good that I got it, so alright. On the other hand, it is a very late start to my day, but thankfully we still have this trailer attached to us from last Friday, and we are bringing this up to Eau Claire, Wisconsin, to Menards. So, that at least saved me a little bit of time and not having to search for an empty trailer or whatever. I've got my first load on me already, so that's a big help. So now if the gate will work, we will depart and get the heck on the road. Open sesame. Here we go. Yeah, they've been having some issues with this gate. It's a great system. It's just had some glitches. So looks like it's working. So that's a good thing. So we will be on our merry way. More later. Well, I guess all the farmers in the DeKalb area, are getting some nice water for their crops. That's one good thing. The bad thing is that we're slowed down to, about 53 miles per hour right now? Makes no sense passing people when you can't see a damn thing. So, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's going to be slow going if this keeps up all day. Let's hope not. I got to get my butt up to Eau Claire. But we need rain. Rain is life, right? So, oh well. Slug our way through it. Well, we're now as far as the Rockford area. Doing 53 miles per hour. I have installed propellers on the tractor. And our bow is breaking a nice wake as we steam along towards Eau Claire. Good Lord, what a lot of rain. Slow going today. Nothing you can do. Oh, well, thank goodness that rain finally let up. Holy crap, that was a lot of water. So we are, God, I don't even know where we are. We're heading up towards Madison, Wisconsin. Back in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Man, I love this state. Have I said that before? I think I have. But we're cruising along, and weather has cleared up. We are back up at 70 miles per hour, and hopefully we'll make some good time from here on out. I hope. Unless, of course, there's more storms ahead of us, which I hope not. So, oh my gosh, driving in that type of driving rain, man, that's stressful. You got some people driving like absolute, like death wish idiots, doing 90 miles per hour when you can't even see 10 feet in front of your hood. And then you've got other people that have slowed down to 20 on an interstate highway, and all sorts of people putting their hazard lights on. It's like, I don't know. It just makes no sense. People make no sense. But yeah, very stressful because you have no idea who you're coming up on and when. Not my favorite type of driving, that's for sure. So, anyway, clear skies. I'm happy. We're rolling. Well, good morning, kids. It is Tuesday, August the 15th, and we are just starting to roll. And can you guess where we are? Can anybody guess? Anybody who's been watching my videos? It's one of my favorite spots to land in. Yes, that's right. You guessed it. You guys are smart. It's the Petro in Rochelle, my saving grace. Yeah, so I came through here because I started so late in the day yesterday because stupid me, I overslept. So I always like to try and get off to an early start on Monday, and that went out the window. So I didn't get out of the yard until, I want to say, about 9:30 in the morning, which is way late in trucking world. But, you know, no harm, no foul. It's no big deal. I mean, it's a drop trailer at Menards, so it's not like a strict appointment or anything like that. And the good thing is now with this company, as I've mentioned before, since I'm running up against my 11-hour drive clock before my 14-hour duty clock ever becomes an issue, the good thing is that as I do a full day of driving like I did yesterday, I did over 10 hours of driving and shut down with lots of time on my 14, but I was in my last hour of, I think I had about 40 minutes left of my drive clock. So the good thing about that is that it makes the next day, it makes it possible to start a little earlier in the morning, as opposed to when you are constantly burning out your 14-hour clock, then each following day you end up starting later and later and later. And that is usually in almost all the other trucking jobs I've had, that's usually the case. So if you didn't get off to an early start on your first day of work, each day you would be starting later and later, and then that obviously means you're also shutting down later and later, which means that available parking is greatly diminished. And just let everybody go on through here. And yeah, that's a drag. That's a real drag. So like one day you shut down at like, 6 o'clock at night, and then the next day you're having to shut down at like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and onward, and that really sucks. So when you work in a job like this where you're driving more than you are doing on duty, not driving stuff, your days actually, you can start earlier and earlier, which is fantastic. I love that. So anyway, all of my babbling, yes, I've had 2 cups of coffee. That is what happens. I start getting long-winded. But so we landed here at like 9-something at night.
Then take the first right.
I ran over to the Pilot, which is literally across the highway, because I desperately needed fuel. And even though I was low on the drive clock, I had plenty of hours on the 14. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to knock the fuel out now, so I don't have to mess with it in the morning. And so I was over there at 9-something o'clock last night. I figured that place would be an absolute zoo. It wasn't. There were actually spots available. It was actually quite calm. I was shocked, because usually that Pilot is just slamming. It's a smaller Pilot. But even still, those spots in there are so tight, and it's such a pain in the ass to park in that place. I mean, obviously it's doable, and obviously if I had to, I could. But I just didn't want to deal with it. After a long day, I was tired. It was already dark. My eyes were tired. I mean, you're shot at the end of a driving day like that. So it's like, that's the last thing I wanted to do, is dinker around in the dark at night and try and, shoehorn myself into a micro-sized Pilot Flying J parking spot. So screw that. I just put it in drive and went across the highway bridge and came to the Petro, because the Petro's got about 9,000 parking spaces, and it's never ever full. So Petro in Rochelle, folks, if you're in the greater Chicago metro area, far west reaches of the Chicago area, a little south of Rockford, it is a wonderful safe haven when you desperately need parking and it's late at night.
Turn
so
right on I-39
we
south.
are off. We are running. It looks like it's finally stopped raining. Thank God. Yesterday was monsoons all day long, which is fine. I don't mind rain. I actually like it, but it's tiring when you drive in it. It wears you out a little quicker. So looks like the sun's coming up. It's going to be a nice day. I hope it's nice and cool out, which I also love, because I'm not one for heat. And yeah, so that makes me happy too. So Off to Holiday City, Ohio we go, and we will check in later. So just a quick driver tip for the new drivers. Do you see how much space I am leaving purposely when I'm coming around this cloverleaf? I literally hit my brakes and slowed down slower than the 25 mile per hour speed limit on purpose, because I knew this merge is a mother. And it's a very short, one of these short merge on, merge off things. And a lot of times it becomes a really dangerous merge. So the key to merging, folks, I keep harping on it, leave a lot of space in front of you. Do not tailgate the person in front of you, because that's what creates really bad situations when you finally reach the merge point. I left plenty of space there. Had a truck been coming along at 70 miles per hour and trying to slow down to 25, he would have easily been able to duck in front of my nose and get out of the lane of traffic so that he could start really getting on his brakes. So just a little tip, especially for the newer drivers. Keep in mind, you're not driving a car anymore. You are driving a truck, and it's all about distance, and these things do not react quickly. So you need to leave yourself room. You need to leave other people room. And one of the most important things is in merging situations. Do not ride the person in front of you. It does not get you to your destination any quicker, and it actually creates the potential for really deadly accidents. So just wanted to share that. Oh, am I glad that I am not in the northbound lanes of I-294 today. Holy crap. I don't know if that's all from construction or what, but it's been miles and miles of just bumper to bumper crawling traffic. What a mess. But they are steadily making progress in getting this highway construction done, and man, lots of lanes. So it's hopefully going to be a little better in the future. But look at the haze in the air. It's really amazing how much gray, smoky haze we've had all summer long. And you get brief little respites of some clear sky, and you can see blue sky and clouds and all that stuff. But so many days like this, and I can only imagine all this haze. It's late enough now in the day. That's not fog. That's got to be from those wildfires up in Canada. So, man, it makes me kind of, in a weird way, wish for winter, or look forward to winter, because at some point, hopefully, when the temperatures start dropping, and if winter brings in some rain or snow or what have you into Canada, maybe we'll finally get those damn fires out once and for all. And maybe, just maybe, by next summer we'll have clear air again. Boy, that's getting kind of depressing. Always this haze, it's like so oppressive. But anyway, we are continuing to roll, and thankfully today we are heading in the right direction, so far at least, where our side is flowing and the northbound lane is an absolute parking lot. So let's hope our luck continues. Well, quite a little day today. I've been a productive camper. It is, 4:35 p.m. Michigan time, which is East time. Actually, I'm sorry, my truck always shows Chicago time. That's Central time, 4:35. In Michigan, where we are now, it is 5:35. So that's how that works. See, aren't you glad you tuned in? See all the stuff you're learning? Time zones and everything. But we are on a mad dash to try to make it, I hope, to our terminal. At least that's my mission. I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's going to be really tight. But started out the day in Rochelle, Illinois at that Petro, and drove straight through to Holiday City, Ohio. Dropped that trailer, grabbed an empty, ran with that empty up to Albion, Michigan. Not sure how that's pronounced, but it's either Albion, I don't know. Michigan. It was pretty much straight north of Holiday City, Pioneer, Ohio, and to a Knauf insulation place, and dropped the empty that I took from the Menards DC, dropped the empty there, picked up a loaded trailer full of insulation, so it is packed to the gills and it weighs nothing. And we are now skedaddling from there on I-94 westbound, heading towards the insanity that is Gary, Indiana, which I have to make it through in order to get to Plainfield, where our terminal is. So here's how trucking works, kids. My drive hours on my drive clock right now are 3 hours 47. So I've got 3 hours and 47 minutes left in which I'm legally able to drive the truck. Now I've got 5 hours left of on duty on my what they call the 14-hour clock. So I'm fine there, no problem. I've got plenty of duty time, just drive time, because I've been driving and doing nothing else, practically, other than those quick drop-in hooks. So 3:47 on my clock right now. One GPS is telling me that I should make it to our terminal in 3 hours and 6 minutes, which would mean I would get there with 40 minutes to spare on my drive clock. And my other GPS is telling me 3 hours and 18 minutes, so there's a 12-minute discrepancy. But even that, I'd be making it back with plenty of time. Here's why I'm nervous. Gary, Indiana. That's why I'm nervous. So you never, ever, ever know what you are going to encounter when you go the I-94, I-80 corridor through Gary. It can be smooth sailing when you don't expect it to be, which is rather rare. And then when you expect it to be okay traffic-wise, because it's not rush hour, it's not this, that, or the other, it's a complete disaster. So there's absolutely no predicting Gary, Indiana. So fingers crossed, kids. Let's hope I make it. We will see. You know, a car driver just reminded me of another little thing that I notice while I'm out driving around these wonderful roadways of ours in our nation. It is yet another PSA from your Uncle Dirk, and it has to do with exits. And I just want to make sure that all car drivers know that if you have an exit coming up and you have to take that exit, like this knucklehead, you don't need to get into the left lane, floor it to get around the truck that's in the right lane just to exit. And it's even more fun when you get in front of that truck and then start slamming on your brakes to get at that exit. I see it constantly. It happens like 100 times a day as I'm driving. And every single time I look in my mirror, I see them coming, and there's absolutely nobody behind them. And there's nobody behind me. So what's the point? What? I don't get that. Can't you just like stay behind the truck and then just quietly exit and not put your life in danger? Why do you have to aggressively cross in front of the nose of an 80,000-pound rolling machine that can't stop very fast? It's beyond me. So anyway, for all you car drivers out there, I just wanted to let you know that apparently somebody must have taught in driver's ed nowadays that that's how you exit a highway. I just want to let you know that nothing bad will happen to you if you stay behind the truck and then just exit. It's okay, it's allowed.